This question comes from Max, who asks, what would happen if we built a reactor as powerful as the sun?
Max, let's be honest. This is one of those probably not a good idea questions. The kind of thing that sounds fun in theory, but terrifying in practice.
Spoiler alert, we're talking about temperatures hotter than any summer in Arizona, an energy output that makes all of humanity look like it's powered by a flashlight.
First, let's set the scale. The sun produces about 3.8 times 10 to the 26th watts of energy every second.
To put it another way, if you had a backyard grill that produced 1 watt, you'd need basically all of humanity's collective imagination times a gazillion to match the sun.
So yeah, our little reactor would be kind of a big deal. And by kind of, I mean instant global disaster kind of big deal.
Now, how would you even contain this thing? Nuclear reactors today, fission reactors, handle gigawatts at most. And even fusion reactors, the closest thing we have to a star on Earth, produce mere megawatts in experimental setups.
To scale that up to the power of the sun, you'd need a structure bigger than a planet, probably bigger than Jupiter. And if you tried to cram it onto Earth, well, Max, I hope you like molten continents, because that's what you'd get. Let's imagine we somehow contained it. The energy output would vaporize the atmosphere around it in seconds. Heat would radiate out faster than you can say global barbecue, raising temperatures to tens of millions of degrees in the immediate vicinity. Earth would glow like a second sun, except this one would be really close, like way too close. Your ice cream would be the first casualty, followed closely by oceans, cities, and probably your Wi-Fi router.
The gravitational implications are just as wild. A reactor producing sun-level energy would likely need a mass similar to the sun itself. That's 330,000 times the mass of Earth. Placing something like that anywhere nearby?
Congratulations! You just invented a black hole, or at least a very fast way to destroy the solar system. Planets would be ejected from their orbits, moons would collide, and yes, you'd probably get a front-row seat to a very chaotic asteroid light show.
Even if, somehow, our reactor could float in space safely away from Earth, the radiation alone would be catastrophic. Gamma rays, X-rays, and neutrinos would stream across the solar system, frying satellites, cooking spacecraft, and giving any astronauts nearby a rather unpleasant tan for all of eternity.
And don't forget about the solar wind equivalent. Particles shooting out at millions of miles per hour would shred anything in their path. Your hairdryer would be jealous of this particle storm.
Let's talk practicalities for a second. The sun generates its energy through nuclear fusion, specifically fusing hydrogen into helium.
On Earth, our experimental reactors use isotopes of hydrogen like deuterium and tritium. To match the sun, you'd need kilograms of fuel per second that are frankly impossible to supply.
You'd burn through all of Earth's oceans in minutes. If anyone tells you just add more fuel, remember, it's the sun. It doesn't take requests.
And the heat. Oh, the heat! The surface of the sun is about 5,500 degrees Celsius, but inside, tens of millions of degrees. Anything near your sun-sized reactor would be plasma soup.
Metals would vaporize, ceramics would melt, and ice, well, ice would cease to exist in a fit of existential despair. Essentially, the planet hosting this experiment would become a smoking crater before you even finish counting to 10.
Not the kind of science experiment you want to list on your resume.
So, what would happen if we built a reactor as powerful as the sun? Earth as we know it would not survive. Satellites, cities, oceans, forests, all gone. Even if the reactor were somehow placed in deep space, its radiation and gravitational influence would wreak havoc across the solar system.
The takeaway? Stars are incredible power sources, but building one on Earth is,
Let's call it highly inadvisable. Max, thanks for the cosmic-sized question. Let's maybe stick to backyard solar panels for now.
If you enjoyed imagining humanity's most over-the-top science experiment, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your next what-if scenario in the comments.
Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more dangerously thought-provoking science.
And remember, questions like this are fun until someone actually takes notes in the Pentagon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more ridiculously dangerous thought experiments.